You are tired of the earth cycles. You are wanting to grow to a higher place. You are a lover of everything that is good, right, ethical, and pure. Archangel Michael is leading me to consider how world events and the spiritual awakening that we are all going through are flowing together. There is a reason that world events appear to be boiling over into new extremes right now. And it helps us to deepen into the spiritual connections that we have cultivated within ourselves when there are challenges externally to ourselves. We can become aware of all of it. It requires our energetic alignment with whatever we desire to pay attention to. Our desires have polarity and frequency. We are like tuning forks, vibrating at the rate and polarity of our perspective, thoughts, and emotions. Unlike tuning forks, we have the capacity to create and emit a vast array of negative and positive vibrations within our essence. We are very sympathetic to the challenges that you face there on Earth. And we know that sometimes you are compassionate when looking at someone else in their struggle, and other times you are not. And it is harder for all of you to be compassionate when you think that the person brought something on themselves. But when you realize that you are creating all of this, and so is everyone else, then you know you can cut that person some slack for having created what they created. You want to help others in the planet Earth and raise yourself to higher consciousness. You are on an assignment of ascension. This is the goal of souls who have been here many times or have been away from the light of heaven for eons. Many people have forgotten that they came here for just a short assignment, and this is not our home. But many that went to battle because it was so drastically different from heaven get stuck in the mentality of the war. The experiences play over and over in their head, and they get caught in this loop. So even if they are out of the war, their memories make them feel they are still there. I have privilege. I have easy access to food and clean water. I have a house with a roof that no longer leaks. I have everything I need in terms of worldly care for my body today and tomorrow and beyond tomorrow. That is not true for the majority of the world, and so it is our responsibility, those of us that have this privilege of being physically taken care of already, to spend time in meditation and prayer and in dash, to spend time focusing on our spiritual world. While we have challenges, they present themselves as relatively temporary or impacting only a portion of our life. Whereas for many people, the challenges they face impact their entire life. They do not go away. Or they take every single ounce of energy in every single moment of the day to overcome. Most of these have been subconscious, but we can learn to align them with the deeply expressed theta frequencies in the heart of our being. When we gain the ability to remain in the moment between waking and sleeping, we can have access to the depth of our being. This is where the unconditional love and infinite awareness of Creator consciousness resides within each of us. In our deepest inner knowing, we can learn to be in this highly awakened state as we go about our lives effortlessly in deepest love and joy. Because whether they are doing so with their choices in the lifetime or before the life began, everything is a choice. And yet, living with one's choices can be very hard, and that's why it is important for you to have compassion for everyone, because everyone is carrying their own cross. Everyone is facing a challenge or multiple challenges in their lives. And while it may look like some deserve those challenges and others do not, we say to you that from a higher perspective, everyone is the same. Everyone is playing a role there on earth for you. And so if it is easy to withhold your compassion for someone because of the choices they have made, you can always ask yourself whether you sometimes do the same when it comes to having compassion for you. Are you hard on yourself because you think you could have or should have done better? Are you hard on yourself because you think you could have paid more attention or ignored the signs? It is much the same way for Earth. The energy of Earth is so much heavier than heaven that once you get in and take on the energies of Earth and create poor choices and situations, they forget that this was just an experience and not a reality. They get caught in the Earth loop and play the same stories and games over and over again. This is what some of you call déjà vu. The same story and the feeling, haven't I already done this? Yes, you have. Sometimes it is in a different dimension or an alternative reality, but the themes remain the same. It is about ascending or rising out of the heaviness of Earth and negativity and going to a higher calling. We all want it to be like Source. The negativity comes from choices. It is to be in the world, but not of it. It is listen to your heart and make good decisions. It is to observe situations and not to engage in dark ends unless it is to help another. Having the privilege of not having to fight for existence means we are tasked with the responsibility of honoring spirit in whatever form or fashion each of us does. It is up to us to generate the qualities of energy that help humanity choose peace, patience, and compassion. As these qualities of energy are generated more and more, they become more and more accessible to other people. As each person around the world has the ability to tune into a growing energetic pool of compassion, it can make their day-by-day, moment-to-moment struggle for existence a little bit easier. It serves as a reminder that there is another option. We may not know how to get there, but it does exist. Beyond our wildest dreams as humans, we are so much more as expressions of the entire consciousness of the Creator. To be aware of our expanded consciousness, we must recognize, accept, resolve, and release the self-imposed limitations of our conscious awareness. As we align with our heart consciousness in deep meditation, we can enter unlimited acceptance of who we are and realize the love of the Creator that resides in our heart. For most of us, this can happen with strong intention and lots of practice. When we pay attention to how our life transpires through awareness of our state of being, we can begin to realize the extent of our creative essence. As we realize the self-assurance of our amazing essence, we can understand the nature of human life and the game of consciousness that we are playing. Everything we experience is a result of our conscious and subconscious vibrations. By training our subconscious to align with our highest aspirations and heartfelt desires, we create miraculous experiences in deepest love and complete confidence. There's no real good reason to withhold compassion, and when you offer it, you expand. And what you are expanding into is your higher self. And therefore, know that your higher self is compassionate towards everyone, no matter what their circumstances. And you are there to become your higher selves, which means compassion is a big part of the equation. It's a big part of everyone's journey, and sometimes there's more compassion for self needed, and sometimes there's more compassion for others needed. And other times people need to have more compassion for themselves and others. This world is fickle. The world is unforgiving. The world can be harsh. So invest in spirit. Invest in the love, light, creativity, purity, and holiness. Our Father, who dwells in heaven, has a holy name. He is waiting patiently for your return home, a final home. Not a home to patch yourself up and be deployed back to Earth, but retirement and honorable discharge from the war. Are you ready to retire? Are you planning your exit plan? Are you thinking of moving into a higher consciousness on the earth plane and never stepping back down? You are on a path of ascension. You have an assignment of your path. You have a lesson to choose light. It isn't easy. There must be a lot of discipline, prayer, and royal contemplation about your next moves. Many souls like Kuan Yin, Mary Magdalene, Jesus the Christ, Adama, El Moria, the Holy Spirit, and myself, and so many others are at your disposal to see how they worked with the light. How they connected to God, how they chose the highest path. When people can feel compassion as another option in their lives, besides acting upon the emotions of fear and anger through violence, they are much more likely to find a way to compassion in their lives. The energetic vibrational presence of compassion, generated by those of us living in privilege, can make a difference. Your personal meditation makes a difference in the world. This is possible for all of us. It is how we are designed to be. When we desire to realize who we really are, apart from our sojourn as humans, we can regain awareness of our essential self. It is the brightest, most beautiful and spectacular experience we can ever have. There are many who do not have this desire, and that's fine. They need more experience in the world of good and evil. For those of us who have the desire to know our true self, with our infinite awareness and creative ability, know that it is possible. If we do the psychological work on ourselves, we can awaken beyond the limiting beliefs about ourselves to awareness of the amazing majesty of who we are. But compassion will always be the way. Just like forgiveness, acceptance, and unconditional love, these are the ways to the fifth dimension, to becoming your higher selves. These are the ways home to Source, so you can tell when you are moving in the right direction by how you feel. If you feel yourself expanding, you know in that moment you are becoming your higher self. If you do not feel yourself expanding or feel yourself contracting, that's when you are not, in that moment, taking the fast track to the fifth dimension. You have these opportunities presented to you in every day. You hear about something or someone, and there will be an opportunity for you to be who you really are as a compassionate being. And there will also be an opportunity for you to withhold your compassion and stay right where you are in judgment. And that is why you can look at your thoughts as well and ask yourself, am I judging myself or that other person or that group? And if the answer is yes, then you know you have to change your own mind in order to become more of who you really are, which is a heart-centered being of unconditional love and infinite compassion. Many people don't believe this energy is true and are shocked, so they dismiss the request. We were inspired to come to create this group, and she heard the call and did it. We are pleased. We have regular meeting about people seeking ascension. If you get this nudge from us, hear the call, please work with the energy. Pay attention to your dreams and synchronicities. Listen to your inner urgings and inner callings. Pay attention to God's messages through nature and through the planetary cycles. We are here calling to many of you. We are listening to your requests. We honor your sacred path. That is your ascension assignment.